The following broadcast is for entertainment purposes. The views and opinions expressed are solely that of the broadcaster and do not reflect those of any particular governing body in volleyball. Independently verify all rules if any conflict should arise. Oh my gosh, what's up everyone? Welcome to From the Stand. This is Ref Mike. We took a little hiatus, had some things going on in life, but this is from the Stand, so welcome back. A couple of things before we get started. Of course, my opinions are my own, and please verify all your rules before you take me to school or take me to court and try to sue me for anything that I may get wrong. We're only human, right? So we get things wrong. But I want to start off the top of this particular episode with a little bit of what's going on in the world today. So I am a huge Olympic fan. I love the Olympics. I've loved the Olympics ever since I was a kid. Dominique Moceanu was like my everything growing up in gymnastics. I used to watch that incessantly, and I believe in the 96 games, I like recorded everything on VHS. I had like 20 VHS tapes of Olympics. Olympic gymnastic coverage. I have my little cubby in my loft area, just recording and watching video. But if you are keeping track of the Olympics, there was some beach women's volleyball and men's volleyball that went on today. The men's preliminary phase in Pool D played. The U.S. played Cuba, and they lost in 2-0. And the U.S. women just finished a match. They came out on top of our friends to the north, Canada. Good old Kristen Noose and Taryn Cloth, both from LSU actually, and I believe Cloth is the winningest athlete in LSU beach volleyball history. And the NCAA did certify beach volleyball in 2016, since beach volleyball was certified, I should say, in 2016. That's how she holds that stat there. And but those two young ladies are off to a wonderful start, playing over there in Paris for the Olympics today. And if you get a chance to watch them, man, it was a great match to behold. So we're gonna get to today's topic. Today's topic is sanctions. Now, I know a lot of people were like, red and yellow make purple. Well, red and yellow make orange, right? Red and yellow make orange. Red and yellow, in fact, do make orange. But the purple was to signify some hurt feelings that people may get from sanction cards. I'm here to tell you, first and foremost, sanctions are generally not given from a referee's point of view, generally not given as a punitive or to get someone into trouble per se. Usually it's kind of, in my opinion, it's more of a reminder, a gentle reminder with some preventative officiating by letting a team or a coach or a player know something, and then issuing that yellow card warning, and then followed by a red card, which results in a point and service awarded to the other team. But those are all gentle reminders. We don't use cards or sanctions to force players or teams or coaches to do anything. They are by and large a reminder of the rules and etiquette of volleyball in general. Now, I will go on record here by saying, first and foremost, one of the things I do say in the pre-match conference when I am talking to these young ladies and coaches, I don't give out yellow cards. I don't see yellow cards. This yellow card, I don't give out yellow cards. I don't give out red cards. Those are simply there for me to use as a tool to keep the match moving the way it's supposed to in accordance to the rules. So when I say I don't give them out, if you end up getting a yellow card or a red card, 100%. I'm gonna say that one more time. So if by and large, when a referee gives out a card, especially in volleyball, you earned it. So We do have a lot of preventative officiating that does go on the court. For instance, down ref may say something like, "Hey, number 24, watch your feet," or you know, you're leaving too early. Wait for the contact. In the case of somebody being out of rotation, something also towards the coach, like coach asks for a third timeout, and things are kind of heated, and you may kind of look at that coach and say, "You sure want a timeout, coach?" Then that might kind of spur them to ask, "Well, how many timeouts have I used, or how many timeouts do I have left?" And in that case, very simple. "Hey, coach, you've used 2 timeouts. If you want another timeout, I can issue the delay of game." So with that said, I want to talk about some situations and when it overall as it pertains to volleyball. Like I said before, sanctions and penalties of that sort are used to keep players and coaches and sometimes even spectators within the confines of the etiquette of volleyball. And I kind of explain it to people that I talk to simply by saying that, in comparatively speaking, volleyball is one of the only sports that the rules govern how people actually act. We now all sports have protocols, right? You have a way that you come on and off the court, and the way you can act while you're playing. So basketball, you can't impede somebody's shooting of the ball when they're trying to shoot on the basket by physically touching a person. I am not a volleyball referee, or I'm sorry, I'm not a basketball referee. I wouldn't be able to express to you that using the language of the rule book, but it goes without saying that a lot of fouls are incurred that way. So, but much like most other sports, volleyball is the same way. But our rules govern how people act. Sportsmanship is a huge thing. Players and coaches can be issued cards for unsporting conduct, and can also be issued cards for delaying matches or delaying the game. And that's why I say, by and large, we use those cards to kind of keep the match tempo moving, to keep the match at a certain pace. So as far as issuing sanctions, I personally, when I gave my first sanction card out, it was a yellow card, and it was for unsporting conduct after a warning. It was to a young lady who had was celebrating a little too emphatically towards the opposing team, which and I told her one time, or the first time I had told her about it, through the captain, I said, "Hey, watch number so and so. She's a little verbose towards the other team. It can be seen as taunting." Or intimidating. So just celebrate away from the net, not towards the net, and we won't have a problem with that. Well, it happened again. And since I had already issued that verbal warning, that player did end up getting a yellow card for it. She cried. I mean, I felt bad, right? Because it was my first one, and I think she felt bad. That's why she cried. And after the match, I did end up speaking with that particular player, and her parents were right there. And I was like, "Hey, it's not a big deal. It's a yellow card. It was a warning. You move on. You didn't incur any penalties. No points were awarded. Just kind of, brush it off and move forward." It served as a reminder of the sporting etiquette of the game. But as far as coaches are concerned, one of the things we look for, this is probably, aside of the delay of game or the match delay sanction, this is probably one of the most hotly contested areas of sanctioning as far as training and education for referees go. So we get a lot of information, a lot of referee training, and a lot of words, points of emphasis on the protocol of how to issue a sanctioned card. And a lot of the focus surrounds coaches. We all know coaches can get very verbose, very emotionally wrapped up in matches, emotionally wrapped up in the game. And the etiquette of the game stipulates where coaches can and can't be, right? You can't be inside the substitution zone. You have to maintain a certain distance away from the court, or in this a certain area. In the libero replacement zone, you can't go past this, can't be here. Certainly can't throw your clipboard. You can't be yelling across the court to the referees. So that word keeps coming up again and again, that etiquette. For all intents and purposes, coaches don't have to be issued a verbal warning. Coaches don't have to even be issued a yellow card. Coaches can be issued a red card directly if the infraction is seen by either referee as deeming or warranting that of a red card. There doesn't have to necessarily be an escalation to a red card for it to warrant one, and that's pretty much simply put. Other than that, as far as sanctions go, man, this particular episode of From the Stand is completely unscripted. I wanted to come in here and chat real quick about some questions and some concerns that people had with sanctions, how we issue them, what are we looking for, things like that, and that's basically covered it. I covered it in 11 minutes. I don't want to go on and on about other different types of sanctions and what we do, but suffice it to say, from a referee's point of view, those are the main things we're looking at. We're looking at etiquette on the court, etiquette on the sidelines, etiquette from the bench, how the coach is conducting him or herself, how the players are conducting themselves, and then a bulk of those cards can be issued during the delay sanction. As a matter of fact, I've got the rules book right here, and for NFHS, mind you, so we're getting ready to move into the high school season, middle school season, and in the 24-25 rule book on issuing sanctions, this right here is a chart dedicated to this particular page right here is a chart dedicated to what types of delay sanctions can be issued. And quite frankly, I don't ever really see a need coming across this. The biggest hang up that people are going to run across to is like coming back from a timeout. It's much easier in school than it is in USAV or club balls. Club ball, you get 30 seconds. You got to come back. And in school, you get a minute, 15-second warning whistle. And ladies, I'm telling you, that one's pretty cut and dry. We're watching. That was one of the things that was emphasized this year coming back from timeouts, that delay of game. You get that 15-second warning whistle, and then at that 1 minute, you got to be on the court and ready to play. So when that horn sounds, if you're not ready to play, that's an automatic, that automatically warrants a delay sanction right there. You can get a yellow card, and if you've already been issued a yellow card, you can get a red card for that. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Real nice and short and sweet. I want to let you know that I'll always be here for your questions. If you got any questions, send them my ways. You can send them to vballrefmike@gmail.com. Catch me on Facebook, social media, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Other than that, I hope to see you guys on the court. And again, have a good one.